make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime he ready.
See greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is expected to meet Devin Haney competing at super lightweight, agreeing to rehydration limits, while expressing full confidence his ability beats all opponents.
I told all of these guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning?
Devin Haney says the Stevenson matchup is definitely coming, demonstrating strong resolve and dedication, clearly stating he genuinely wants it to happen.
Course still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
We're all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said, it's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. Which we try to make.
Shakur Stevenson states he has no fear of Devin Haney, but warns that Haney's camp could wrongly suggest he is deliberately dodging the matchup.
You mentioned Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell.
Shakur Stevenson says his skill set stands above everyone else, claiming no opponent can beat him and that Devin lacks the power to stop him.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing
but
to
do you
make the
see
fight
it as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot was like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney is focused on validating his reputation, aiming to face elite rivals such as Shakur Stevenson to show how great he truly is.
Those fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really...
Bill Haney states they are not dropping in weight or delaying plans, and makes it clear that any opponent interested in fighting must step up to the 140-pound division.
He didn't become undisputed, yet they didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like I was saying this on my live earlier. You tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed, so they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they've done it.
He also says the fight can be arranged whenever the opponent decides they're prepared to move forward.
So we must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go somewhere.
Tim Bradley says Shakur Stevenson could eventually achieve a legacy that ranks even above Terrence Crawford. He describes Crawford as a clear all-time great, a 5-division champion with a resume that places him among boxing's most elite figures. Still, Bradley argues that Stevenson shows a similar level of ability and technical talent that could carry him to an even greater historical standing. He explains that this comparison is not about duplicating Crawford's undisputed runs or collecting titles across several divisions. Instead, Bradley focuses on timing and opportunity. He notes that certain major fights were harder to make during Crawford's rise because of promotional barriers within the sport. According to Bradley, if today's cross-promotion dealmakers had been active back then, matchups with names like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Yordenis Ugas might have taken place sooner, which could have elevated Crawford's visibility and career impact even more.
I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the sense of becoming 3-time undisputed and, you know, going up to, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in the sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turki Al-Sheikh that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know, make these big fights.
Building on that point, Shakur is stepping into a period where high-level competitors from the 130 to 135 divisions are easier to match up with, increasing his chances to regularly face elite opposition. Possible opponents in his path include Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Oshakwi Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Ryan Garcia, and several other strong contenders. Bradley stresses that Stevenson has both the technical ability and the platform to challenge and beat fighters of this caliber. With access to these matchups, Shakur could strengthen his long-term resume and, in terms of overall impact and accomplishments, potentially reach a level beyond Crawford.
He was around when Crawford was on his climb. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, you know, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, you know, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his leisure, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, Oshakwi Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to 135.
There's a significant challenge ahead, but watching these two in action makes it obvious that, outside of foul play, losing is unlikely for either. The exchanges are immediate. Devin Haney responds to Shakur, and Shakur fires back, showcasing the competitive energy that exists at the sport's highest level. Earlier discussions hinted at a 4 Kings 2 concept, featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, drawing comparisons to the iconic era of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
Is Devin Haney going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial 4 Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, Tio, and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the 4 Kings 2.0, from the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto.
Interestingly, Wilfred Benitez, who is often left out of conversations about that era, actually defeated Roberto Duran, a fighter who struggled against several of the original 4 Kings. Duran managed just 1 win over Sugar Ray Leonard, suffered a severe knockout at the hands of Hearns, was outboxed by Hagler, and also fell to Benitez. Despite these impressive feats, Benitez tends to be overlooked in boxing history. In a similar way, modern stars like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez have frequently overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. Yet Stevenson has started to make his mark, especially after his decisive win over Teofimo Lopez. Meanwhile, Gervonta "Tank" Davis's legal troubles and hesitancy to take fights further underline the unique challenges and openings that are shaping today's boxing scene.
We had that 4 King era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Tio, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo Lopez.
Bernie Thauboxer reacts to the upcoming Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney bout by examining the achievements and legacies of both fighters. Stevenson has captured world titles in 4 divisions, claimed 2 lineal championships, and earned the Ring Magazine belt twice. He also became a unified champion twice at 130 pounds, defeating top-tier opponents such as Teofimo Lopez, who consistently brings his best to the ring.
For the fight, Conor Benn comes into the ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about kind of being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that, and now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money for the...
Devin Haney, on the other hand, is a 3-division world champion and has held undisputed status in the past. Bernie points out that if Stevenson wants a showdown with Haney, he should step up without hesitation. Taking on Haney at his peak would eliminate any doubts and guarantee Stevenson full recognition for a historic victory. Bernie emphasizes that while both fighters are world-class, beating Haney in his prime would solidify Shakur Stevenson's place among the top fighters of his era, showcasing his talent, resolve, and championship-level ability.
Legacy fights, accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring for us with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion. And that was it. He was in his prime too. Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older and small.
Shakur Stevenson recently put on a commanding display against Teofimo Lopez, and bouts, M.I.S points out just how impressive it was, especially given that Stevenson was practically fighting with one hand. His jab, the most crucial punch in boxing, was precise and controlled, perfectly managing distance throughout the fight. Every action he took was deliberate and effective, showcasing a level of technical skill that made Lopez, despite his experience and athleticism, appear amateurish. Critics who had questioned Stevenson's resume, suggesting he hadn't faced elite opponents, were proven wrong. In terms of technique, Stevenson executed everything flawlessly, and Lopez struggled simply because he was up against Shakur Stevenson.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teo's athletic, Teo's experienced, he's fought on a high level. Mm-hmm. And, they were critical of Shakur. Oh, he ain't fought nobody in this and that.
Yeah.
He made Teo look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Made him look like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teo go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning, even the time when he talked.
Even with a slight injury to his left hand, Shakur Stevenson controlled the fight from start to finish, relying heavily on his jab and only using his left when absolutely necessary. Buzzy notes that Stevenson had the ability to stop the fight if needed, yet he chose to manage the bout intelligently despite the discomfort. This performance highlighted not just his technical skill, but also his ring intelligence and composure. Fans in Philadelphia and beyond witnessed a true masterclass, with Shakur proving himself as one of boxing's elite talents. Even while dealing with an injury, he dictated the pace and flow of the fight, showing that true greatness comes not from perfect conditions, but from skill, determination, and unwavering focus.
Yeah, Shakur, you could have got stopped and shit, but Shakur hurt his left hand. Yeah. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, off the jab and then
you know what I mean? And he threw the left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we can hear you on the TV.
Yeah, that's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him to throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You know, he can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, he should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he did it right.
The matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney has fans buzzing with excitement. Both athletes bring elite skill, lightning-fast speed, and fierce determination, making each exchange in the ring unpredictable and thrilling. Fans are closely studying their techniques and previous bouts, debating who will emerge victorious. Every punch and movement matters, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Stevenson's technical precision meets Haney's agility and power, setting the stage for a showdown full of intensity. The anticipation is electric, and this fight has the potential to define their careers, delivering one of the most unforgettable contests in recent boxing history.
Fight that even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147, to be 5-weight division champion. I feel like that would be cool.
That's it for today's video. Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates. Stay tuned for the next one.